I'm Maggie, founder and executive director of Back to the Sea Society. Now, with all these whale puns, you're probably thinking I'm going to be talking about this magnificent mammal. But actually, I'm going to be talking about hermit crabs. You're likely feeling a little bit like this buddy these days. Hermit-like and a little crabby. But I'm hoping this video is going to cheer you up. But first, I need to announce that today, Tuesday, May 5th, is a very special day for two reasons. First, it's Giving Tuesday Now, a day of global action and unity in support of nonprofits and communities across the world in response to COVID-19, of course. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that at the end of this video. Second, it's my birthday! On to our topic of the day. Hermit crabs are one of our most popular animals at our touch tank hut. And who can blame our visitors? They are very charismatic animals. With their little claws, sideways scurries, and big blue eyes, anyone would find these animals charming. Over the last 3 years, we've had some pretty famous hermit crabs. Every once in a while, a young visitor at the touch tank hut will name one of our animals, and that name just sticks all summer long. We've had Cupcake and Seaweed Pants. Now, Seaweed Pants is a bit of a star. He's even traveled on postcards to visit some of our donors looking like this. Hi, Seaweed Pants! Now, you may have noticed that Seaweed Pants and Cupcakes were in two different shells. Why do you think that is? Is it because they're different species? Or because they get their shell from another animal? I'll give you a moment to think. Due to copyright laws, time is up. While it's true that there are different species of hermit crabs, the reason they're in different shells is because they get them from another animal. But who? Let's go have a look.
Welcome to the eastern shore of Nova Scotia. It's very chilly and windy today and a little rainy, but I'm going to show you who makes those shells.
Sea snails, such as these dark periwinkles and these lighter colored whelks, they all produce their own shell, which grows with them as they get older.
I could talk about sea snails for quite a while, but given the weather, we'll keep that for another episode. Let's go back in.
I could get used to traveling this way. So when a snail, such as a periwinkle or a whelk, passes away or gets predated on, that means eaten by another animal, that shell becomes available to a hermit crab. Because you see, even though a hermit crab's claws are quite hard, their little body inside is actually quite soft, and they've got a cute little curly bum. So without their shell, hermit crabs are quite prone to being eaten by another animal, such as a larger crab, birds, or even other fish. So whenever a hermit crab is feeling threatened, they hide in their shell and use their claws as a trapdoor. Now, it would be pretty difficult to be a hermit crab real estate agent, because those little buddies, whew, they are picky. Although, they do need to change their shell many times throughout their life, because as they get bigger, they need a bigger shell. I should rethink this real estate hermit crab career thing. Oh yeah. Anyways, hermit crabs will use their claws when they're searching for a new home. So they'll take their claws and put them inside the shell to check out the size and make sure that it's not damaged. When they're ready, they quickly boop, come out of one shell and boop, into the other. Now, like I mentioned, they want to make sure that the shell isn't damaged and it doesn't have anything like a hole in it. A shell with a hole in it. Does that ring a bell? Yes, of course. That's the doing of a moon snail, as we talked about in episode 1. If you haven't checked it out, you should do that. Now, speaking of moon snails, that is another type of shell that a hermit crab will sometimes like to live in. That's the shell that Cupcake had chosen for his home. Side note, The moon snail is the unofficial official mascot of the Touch Tank Hut, and while it hasn't been the same moon snail over the years, we always name it Otis.
Ha! Nah.
Let's go back to the hermit crab's trapdoor. Its claws. Many species of hermit crabs will have one claw much larger than the other. Why do you think that is? Well, imagine for a moment that you have two large crab claws and one yummy looking burger. Imagine how difficult it would be to maneuver that burger up to your mouth. Hermit crabs are scavengers, going around their environment to find pieces of plant or meat so they don't kill their food themselves. When they find big pieces of food, they will use that big claw to hold on to the piece and the little claw to shred pieces off and bring that to its mouth. Now, I could talk about hermit crabs forever, but since time is flying by, I'll keep that for a part 2. I do, however, want to give you a very important tip for when you meet a hermit crab at the beach. Many of our visitors at the Touch Tank Hut like to tell us that they pick up hermit crabs at the beach. Of course, it's always best to leave an animal be when you encounter it in its natural habitat. But we do understand you might be curious and pick up a hermit crab just for a little bit to give it a quick hello. If you do, it's very important to place the hermit crab back in the water with the whole of its shell facing upwards. That way, when you lower the shell into the water, there's no air that gets trapped into the shell. Because if there is, that air bubble is going to make the hermit crab uncomfortable. Sometimes even make the shell float a little bit, making it difficult for him to walk. Isn't that right, Seaweed Pants? You don't like that, do you? That wraps up today's episode of Shell and Tell. I now invite you to participate in Giving Tuesday now. We understand that these are difficult times for everyone, and if you're not in a capacity to give, that's okay. If your contribution is to hit share on this video, we appreciate it just as much. If you are in a capacity to give, please consider making a donation of any amount. You could choose to donate $4 in honor of this 4th episode. You could choose to donate $19 to help us get through COVID-19. Or you could choose to donate $34 in honor of my 34th birthday. Listen, David Suzuki and Jane Goodall are always asking for donations to their foundations when it's their birthday. And while it's probably a little pretentious to put myself in the same bucket as them, I'm going to do it anyways. The point is, any donation of any amount is very helpful, and any amount is eligible for a charitable tax receipt. Simply follow the link attached to this video or visit our website, backtothesea.org. As always, it brings us so much joy to create these videos and to share them with you. And I thank you so much for watching, and I thank you for your support. And now, in my new favorite way of signing off, bye-bye!